"A dress for poor people," my daughter said, and those words stayed in my heart far longer than I expected. It began on a quiet evening when she came home holding a shimmering invitation card. It was for her best friend's birthday party, a grand event arranged at a lavish hall in the city. She looked at the card with excitement, but the moment her eyes fell on the simple blue dress I had stitched for her, the excitement faded from her face. She picked up the dress with 2 fingers as if it were something fragile and unwanted, and she whispered those words that pierced me more deeply than she could ever imagine. I didn't say anything because sometimes silence is the only place where a mother can hide her pain. I simply smiled and walked to the kitchen pretending not to care, but a heaviness settled in my chest. My daughter Sarah had grown up watching her friends wearing expensive brands, living in villas, and being dropped off in luxury cars. Her father had passed away years ago, and I worked 2 jobs to keep our small home running. Most days I came home exhausted, but the moment I saw her face, my strength returned. I wanted her to feel that she had everything, even if our life didn't look like the lives around her. But children see the world differently, and comparison slowly becomes the shadow behind their eyes. That night while she slept, I took out the dress again. Yes, it was simple, but I had stitched every part of it with the love of a mother who wanted to give her daughter the best she could. I touched the small embroidered flowers on the sleeves and imagined her smiling proudly in it, but the image never formed. I decided not to force her to wear it. When she woke up the next morning, I told her she could choose anything she liked from her cupboard. She picked a fancy dress her friend had gifted her, and left for the party looking like a little princess. I watched her go with mixed feelings, but her happiness mattered more than the disappointment still lingering in me. Hours passed and evening arrived. I had promised the host that I would come to help serve food because I needed the extra pay. When I reached the hall, I went through the staff entrance carrying my apron in my bag. The hall was decorated with golden lights, sparkling balloons, and tables covered with satin cloth. Laughter filled the place, and the sound of soft music echoed under the chandeliers. I quickly tied my apron and joined the servers. I didn't expect my daughter to notice me. I was standing behind a large table arranging drinks when I heard a familiar laugh. She was sitting with her group of friends, smiling and chatting. I smiled quietly from afar, feeling relief that she looked happy. But a moment later I heard someone say, "Look at that server, she looks like your mother." My heart skipped a beat. I didn't want her to feel embarrassed. I quickly turned away and pretended to check the trays, hoping she wouldn't look in my direction. But life has a strange way of revealing truth. Suddenly the tray slipped from my hand, falling to the floor with a loud crash. Everyone turned around. The hall fell silent for a moment. And then my daughter stood up. Her face went pale, her eyes widened, and she whispered, "Mom." I froze in place, unable to move. She took one step toward me, and then another. But before she could reach me, her knees buckled. She fainted right there in front of everyone. Guests rushed to her. I knelt beside her, calling her name softly. Someone brought water, someone called the host. And after a few minutes, she slowly opened her eyes. Her gaze met mine, and tears filled her eyes instantly. I thought she was angry, ashamed, or shocked. But she wrapped her arms around me tightly and cried. "I'm sorry, Mom, I'm so sorry," she said again and again. I held her close, brushing her hair, gently trying to calm her shaking breath. Later, in a quiet corner outside the hall, she finally told me what happened. She said she had been feeling guilty since morning. She remembered how I stitched her dress with so much love, and how she had insulted it, and insulted me without understanding my sacrifices. And then seeing me working as staff at the party where all her friends were present, the reality hit her so hard that her heart couldn't handle it. She realized in that moment how much I had been doing for her silently, without complaint. I didn't blame her. She was just a child learning the world through comparison and pressure. I cupped her face and told her that love is not measured by the clothes we wear or the wealth we display. It is measured by the kindness we show, the respect we give, and the gratitude we carry. She cried harder, hugging me again. And for the first time I felt her truly understand me. When we returned inside, something beautiful happened. She walked with me, holding my hand, refusing to let go. Her friends looked confused, but she didn't care. She helped me serve food, smiling proudly beside me, as if she wanted the world to know that she stood with her mother. Some people whispered, some stared, but none of that mattered anymore. My daughter had grown in that very moment beyond her age. As we walked home that night, the city lights reflected in her eyes. And she said, "Mom, can you help me find that blue dress? When we reach home, I want to wear it tomorrow." My steps slowed and warmth filled my heart. She didn't just mean the dress. She meant she understood what love looked like, what effort felt like, and what a mother's heart carried every single day. We walked together in silence, but this time it wasn't the silence of pain. It was the silence of understanding, the silence of healing, and the silence of a bond rebuilt stronger than ever.